Hey, what's going on? Y'all ready? Cause it's that time, man. Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the Crunkest Show in social media history. I want to welcome you to a special edition of the War Zone. Election day is Tuesday, and I am about to pick these races apart. Let's go. Better make sure you casting the right vote because it's going down Tuesday. I'm going to break every race down that I'm looking at. Say, man, I want to welcome you to the War Zone. It's a special edition of the War Zone. And the thing is I waited until today for a reason. To be able to watch these races, watch the conduct of these people that's running. And I'm going to look at a lot of different races. I'm finna give you a lot of great information. And you take it for what it's worth. If I could vote in these races, these are the people that I would vote for. Now, a lot of people call on me because they believe and trust me when I say something. Well, I'm going to tell you the truth. If I could vote for all of these people, this is who I would vote for. After countless hours of research, this is who I would vote for. Get you a pen, get you a piece of paper, and then I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to highlight certain races. I'm not going to talk about certain races. I'm going to tell you who I would vote for, and I'm going to go from there. These are the runoffs. We're going to cover Republican, Democrat, Fort Bend County, Harris County. So make sure that you got you some paper because I'm going to tell you, and I'm not coming back to it. So if you miss this, you miss this. Let's start with United States Senator Royce West versus MJ Hager. I just don't feel that MJ is ready. That endorsement, and the person I would vote for in that race, I would vote for Royce West. Not because he's black. Let's get that straight. He has countless years of experience. And I think that right now, where we are, experience really matters. I would vote for Royce West. Now we're going to go over to U.S. Rep District 10. I'd vote for Mike Siegel. Railroad Commissioner. I'd vote for Robert Alonzo. That's who I would vote for. You follow me? State Board of Education District 6. I would vote for Michelle Palmer. State Representative District 138. I would vote for Akila Basie. State Representative 142. I'm going to highlight this race. I would vote for Hal Dutton. And I'm going to tell you exactly why I would vote for Dutton. I'm going to try to keep this professional. This is not personal. Jared Davis has failed as a city council member in District B for the last 8 years. There are questions surrounding his residency. And I know for a fact that he doesn't live in B. I know that for a fact. So, I have a problem with folks cutting corners before they get into office. But I'm gonna let's just imagine that he did live in B. Let's imagine. I would not vote for Jared Davis because he's done nothing for the district that he represented. You ignored your constituents. You ignored me when I was trying to tell you about violence in your community. You didn't try to help do anything. Still have food deserts. What has he done to try and help the school system for the schools that's in his area? Nothing. So if you didn't get anything out of Jared Davis in 8 years as a city council member, what do you think you're going to get out of 4 years in 142? Dutton has his problems. He has his problems. No questions about it. But I would not rock with Jared Davis at all. Why would I give you a bigger job to fail at? I wouldn't do that. So I'm telling y'all, that's how I feel about that 142 race. State Representative 148 will highlight that race. That is Penny Morales Shaw versus Anna Eastman. I'm an education advocate. I watched Anna as one of those people that tore up the Houston Independent School District. I watched Anna Eastman involve herself in things that created a very, very wide gap in education amongst rich and poor children. I watched Anna Eastman not give a damn about our special ed population. I've watched Anna Eastman vote to close African American schools for that reason. And I feel that she failed and she was involved in a lot of stuff. And there are things that were going on that didn't make sense to me in certain schools like Jeff Davis, where out of control principals were allowed to continue to operate in the fashion that they were operating. I would not vote for Anna Eastman. I would vote for Penny Morales Shaw, State Representative, District 148. Justice of the Peace, 14th Court of Appeals, Place 7. I'd vote for Tamika Tammy Craft. District Judge 164, Civil Judicial District. I'd vote for Alexander Smoots Thomas. District Judge 339th Criminal Judicial District. I'd vote for Tevia Bell. Man, I watched that young lady bust her behind, man. Not have the money that a lot of people had and was out there just grinding. If she gonna leave it on the floor like that, she can have my vote. And actually, you got my vote. Because I could vote for you. So you got my vote. I'm going to hold you accountable if you win. So that's who I would vote for. District Judge 339 Criminal Judicial District. County Commissioner Precinct 3. I'd vote for Diana Martinez Alexander. Justice of the Peace. Precinct 5, Place 1. I'd vote for Israel Garcia. Constable. Precinct 2. I'd vote for Jerry Garcia. Constable. Precinct 3. I'm going to highlight this race. Constable Precinct 3, I'd vote for Sherman Eagleton. It's no way that I'm going to cast a vote for a candidate, whatever the excuse may be, that's in a picture with a noose. It's not going to happen. I don't want to know the excuse. I don't care. I know the history of that department. It was a very racist department under his regime. Ken Jones, when he was in there before, I can't rock with somebody that's on pictures with nooses in 2020. I don't care when you took it. You don't get a pass. The vote, Constable Precinct 3, would be Sherman Eagleton. Constable Precinct 5, I would vote for Mark Allen Harrison. I want to go over here and kick it with my folk too, man, my Republican homies. So let's go over here and you look at U.S. Representative District 18. I just said, talk to him. I'm a rock with Wendell Champion. Look, man, sit down and have a conversation with a Republican if you got a problem. You might end up feeling like me. If you got money, you rocking with them anyway. Because if you're getting the tax breaks that they getting, then it is anyway. So U.S. Representative District 18, I would vote for Wendell Champion, and that's what it is. U.S. Representative District 22, I would vote for Kathleen Wall. This is the Republican side of the ticket. Justice of the Peace, First Court of Appeals, Place 5, I'd vote for James Lombardino. Harris County Sheriff, I would vote for Joe Dana. That's on the Republican side of the ticket. Justice of the Peace, Precinct 5, Place 1. I'd vote for Russ Ridgway. Now let's go back to the Democratic side. And we're going to go over to, I'm going to do this different. Let's stay in the Republican side and let's go to Fort Bend. State Representative District 26, I would vote for Matt Morgan. Fort Bend County Tax Assessor Collector, I'd vote for James Pressler if I was on the Republican side. Now, I saved the Democratic side of the Fort Bend ticket for a reason. Because I want to highlight it. Because it's a lot going on out there. So now we're going to go to the Democratic side, Fort Bend. And I'm going to break this down. Hold on a second, y'all. Hold on. Okay. All right, hold on a second. Let me get back in here. Okay, there we go. So now you got your pen out. State Representative, District 26. This is Democratic side, Fort Bend County. I would vote for L. Sarah DeMerchant. District Judge 505, Judicial District. I would vote for Khalid Morgan. Fort Bend County Commissioner, Precinct 1. I would vote for Jennifer Cantu. Hold on a second. I gotta make sure I got this right. Okay. So I'm missing some things. Okay, here we go. Let's go to Fort Bend County Attorney. Let's highlight this race. Sonia Rash versus Bridget Smith Lawson. Respect goes a long way. Running an honest, well-respected campaign is something that a lot of people have a hard time doing. Just keep a smile on your face, even though you're dog-tired campaigning. But never succumb to the attacks of your opponent. That tells me a lot about your character. That tells me a lot about your character. If I was voting Fort Bend County Attorney, I would vote Bridget Smith Lawson. Has nothing to do with her being African American. It has nothing to do with her husband graduating from the same school that I graduated from, which is Yates. It has nothing to do with that. The character of this lady can't be questioned. No matter what came her way, from tires being put on flat, car having holes poked in it, children afraid to go to sleep at night because people are threatening them. She never lost her composure. She never stooped to the level of the people that were attacking her. As far as her qualifications, they're through the roof. You've seen her on the show. They're through the roof. She knows the job like the back of her hand. And I don't feel that if anybody would run against her at this moment, they would not be as qualified as this lady. I don't care about any personal issues, which she doesn't have any to me that are beneficial to tell somebody not to vote for her. But her character has been tested this whole election run. and she stayed in a place that I know was hard for her. So my vote for Fort Bend County Attorney would be for Bridget Smith Lawson. Let's go over to Fort Bend County Commissioner Precinct 1. I'd vote for Jennifer Cantu. Let's go to Fort Bend County Constable. Let's go to Constable. Precinct 2. Tanya Beard versus Daryl Smith. Another lady who was attacked multiple times. Her character was attacked. The fact that she was a sexual assault survivor was attacked. I've never seen a race where people stooped to the level that Daryl Smith and his crew stooped to. Now, here's my thing, that if you are untruthful as a law enforcement officer, you should not be in law enforcement. It has been proven, and Mr. Smith said it didn't happen, but he took a punishment for something that supposedly didn't happen, where he put his knee on a suspect's neck in 2016. He said it didn't happen. But the problem with it is in the report, the superior officers deemed him untruthful because he initially lied. So with that being said, why would I even consider putting someone in office as a law enforcement officer that is without a doubt a pathological liar? Well, Tanya Beard, she ran some toes, and I have too. Well, Tanya Beard, I mean, she got an eviction on her notice, and I do too. Did you ask me why? Did you ask her why? None of that matters. An eviction on your record is not a part of the criteria to be able to run. But truthfulness as a law enforcement officer is one of the biggest criteria. And it's been proven that Mr. Smith is not a truthful person at all. He was suspended for the incident for 10 days. He was demoted to a desk sergeant. Why would you take a punishment and not appeal it if you didn't do it? And then when they initially questioned him, according to the report, he lied. So my vote for Fort Bend County, Precinct 2, Constable, would be Tanya Beard. The last race is Fort Bend County Sheriff, and that's between Eric Fagan and Janine Hughes. Okay, hold on. I'm looking for some information because I have to address some things. Let's go here. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to find this information for this last thing. This last thing. Hold on, man. Hold on. Let me go over here. We got one race that I'm interested in. Hold on. And then we're gonna go from there. Let's see. Okay. I can't find These, I think that's it. Okay. No, that's not it. Hold on, y'all. Hold on just a second. I'm gonna give you this last race. Hold on. This last race. Important. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. All right. The last race would be between Janine Hughes and Eric Fagan for sheriff in Fort Bend County. Now, I've had the opportunity to interview Mr. Fagan. I didn't have the opportunity to interview Miss Hughes, and I'm going to pose some questions and I'll put them out there. And if she can answer these questions for you guys, then maybe you could garner support. She could garner support from you, because I have some questions. Is it true that the F5 that she initially was charged, she initially had on her separation of police life? That's F5 is a separation of police license. That's when they basically put a lien against your license and you can't be a law officer. And I would ask, was her dishonorable discharge changed to an honorable on a technicality? Because no one from Missouri City showed up for the hearing to testify against her. I would ask that question. That's some questions that I was gonna ask, and people need to find out. I would also ask, although the F5 was changed from dishonorable to honorable, the Internal Affairs Division findings of untruthfulness still stand, and are they sustained? Did you get the untruthfulness off your record? Because the thing is, we can't have law enforcement officers in office with untruthfulness on their records. We can't do it. So these are questions that I was asked. I would ask. I mean, how many times have you been charged with untruthfulness? Because that's the scary part. I would ask, does she agree with FBI agent Richard Schott, who stated on November 2003, a single lie can taint an officer's credibility forever and render the officer virtually useless as a witness in court proceedings. That's something you need to think about Daryl Smith. If he's been lying and he's gotten caught, he's useless in a courtroom. They can't use him. So there's something that may have been there that we needed to discuss so she could get it out there. And I'm throwing this out there because these are the questions that need to be answered. I would ask, why did you sue to keep your personnel files sealed in Missouri City when you left? I mean, why did you keep them sealed? Your personnel files. What if I want to do an open records request to see what's in your personnel file? Why would you want them sealed? Is it something that we're hiding? I would also I would have loved to have asked, explain what circumstances would lead to an officer being placed on the Brady list. And the Brady list is where they put untruthful officers. There's a lot of question marks A lot of question marks. And Eric Fagan has his issues too. In the race for Fort Bend County Sheriff, if I was in the voting booth, I would cast my vote for Eric Fagan. Now, I put the questions out there. I didn't disrespect the lady, didn't drag her. Maybe she can take all those questions and answer all those questions. So these are the people that I would vote for. I'm very, very conscious. I'm very, very in the know when it comes to my political figures. And I just wouldn't vote for anybody. That's just not how I do it. You see what I'm saying? I just would not vote for anybody. I'm going to dig until I find out. And when I don't know, I'm going to ask questions. I got 48 hours. Any candidate that wants to come on my show in 48 hours, I will make special accommodations for you. I will give you a 15-minute interview for you to do whatever you want to do, say what you want to say to the voters, and let the chips fall where they may Tuesday. And that's the way it needs to be. And that's what it is. But I'm very, very concerned about the District 142 race, where we have people that don't live in the district, never did anything for the district that they represented in 142. Please cast that vote for Harold Dutton. Please cast your vote for Bridget Smith Lawson, a woman of character and integrity. I've never seen anybody handle what she has handled. You feeling what I'm saying? And did it with grace and dignity. I know she will do a great job when she gets in there, because she will have an open door policy, and she won't make decisions unless you clearly understand why. You want reform for the African American community, and all the other communities want reform. But I'm going to speak on the African American community. The way you get reform is going into the voting booth and choosing the right people. You have to vote for Tevia Bell for judge. You want a fair shot in the courtroom? Put a fair judge in there. Anybody with question marks in any race that they're running, don't do it. Don't do it. Tanya Beard and Darryl Smith, do you really think that Darryl Smith, oh, he does a lot for the community? I tell you what you do for the community. You can best believe I'm in your early balloting business, your mail-ins. You think I don't know, huh, partner? You think I locked on you just to lock on you, huh? You better pray you ain't got one ballot messed up with your mail-ins. We know you pander the old folks' homes. We know you pander the senior living facilities. We know you got folk on the inside of there filling out them early ballots for them people. This man has no spine. He has no character. He is one of the problems in law enforcement. I would vote for Tanya Beard. Any candidate that wants to come on, whether I would say I'd vote for them or not, you are free to 15-minute interviews, even on election day. Hold on a second. They are welcome to come on. I'll give them a 15-minute interview. Like the Penny Morales Shaw race and Anna Eastman. I watched Anna Eastman as a school board trustee. And every decision that she made was black and white. She didn't believe in giving teachers raises. She didn't believe in creating equity between poor kids and rich kids in the school. She even voted to close African American schools. Why would I send you up to Austin as a state representative? The only thing she missing is a cross and some gasoline. I'm sorry, but I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen it with my own eyes. I even tried to tell her about a rogue principal at Davis that was stealing money, letting pedophiles work in the school. She didn't want to hear it. Do you really think that's somebody we need representing us on the state level? No, not at all. Not at all. I would not recommend it. So my thing is you got me on record of what I would do, who I would vote for. If you want to use that as a blueprint, feel free. Just know I've done my research, and some things I can't figure out, so that's why I would rather ask questions. And if I couldn't ask the questions, I'm gonna ask them now. It's 48 hours. Give the people a reason to vote for you. And like I said, like in the precinct 3 race over there with Eagleton and Ken Jones, man, don't you vote for nobody on no picture with no nooses. Sherman Eagleton has brought diversity to that department. Sherman Eagleton cannot get the help of the commissioner in that area to be able to do some of the things that he needs to do, that he would really like to do. You may not like Eagleton, just like we may not like me, but that's who I would vote for. I'm being honest with you. No way in hell I would vote for that dude, Ken Jones. I wouldn't do it. I'd vote for Sherman all day. I'd vote for Harold all day. I wouldn't vote for Jerry Davis. I'm sorry. And hopefully during the course of this video, I've not been disrespectful as I've talked about these races. I don't think I have. I think that I gave you some great input. You can use it, run with it. If you still got 48 hours. It's time to go to war. So I will be at the polls Tuesday, helping the ones that I choose to help. Not contracted, just helping. Because sometimes it ain't about no money. It's just about getting the right person in there to do the job, man. You feel what I'm saying? So that's all it boils down to with me. And when it's all said and done, let's try and get the right people in the right spots. So, man, I got to get back to this homework. I wanted to do that. The ones that I just told you about, expect to see blast on my page to support them for the next 48 hours, because I don't want you to get selective amnesia and forget who to vote for. Cast your vote, no matter what. Local elections count. Say, man, I want to thank you for tuning in to a special edition of the War Zone. Now you know how I feel if I was voting everywhere. Say, man, tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, me, Demetri, and Donovan. What the hell is going on with Will Smith and Jada? Is Jada Pinkett Smith community kitty cat? We gonna talk about it tomorrow night, man. We gonna talk about it tomorrow night. Until then, I'll holler at y'all.